What's up, the John Squad? This is John Pilling here, your YouTube world Here's the champion here, team, and I'm coming to my WWE Monday Night Raw review for September 10th, 2018. That is right, so let's do this. What a WWE Monday Night Raw we had last night. So we kicked off WWE Monday Night Raw last night with Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, and Braun Strowman with the Raw superstars, with the Raw heel Raw locker rooms, who beat up on the Shield last week, who surrounded the ring with Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre. So Dolph Ziggler cuts a promo saying, "We told you so," and that's what he says, "We told you so." So then Braun says, "We beat them down," and that's what happens there. So then, "We beat down the Shield." That's what Braun says, and so then Drew shows footage from last week when they beat down on the Shield. So then Braun says is that Roman is a coward, and that he is that he is going to chasing his hands up, and that he has his own hounds of war now, and so then that means now the Shield comes out and beat down on the Raw locker room of the Raw locker room that beat down on the Shield last week on Monday, and they take now Dean Ambrose hands the kendo sticks to weapons to them, and they just whack them with weapons, and then the last but not least, they go into the ring and then they hit kendo sticks in Jinder Mahal, and that what happens in the first segment. So then Baron Corbin confronts the Shield and tells them that backstage that they have to leave, otherwise Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns will be stripped of their titles. So Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins will be stripped of their titles. Roman Reigns will be stripped of his Universal belt, Seth Rollins will be stripped of the Intercontinental belt. So they leave, and the police escort them out. So then, the first match we had on Raw was Nikki Bella versus Ruby Riott, and the winner was Nikki Bella. The second match we had on Raw was the Authors of Pain versus Ronnie Ace and Nathan Bradley, and the winner was the Authors of Pain, and those two guys are just regular jobbers. Unfortunately, those two guys don't even no-name wrestlers, not even on the Raw roster. So that's why. And that means now the third match we had on Raw was a Raw Tag Team Championship match. The B Team, go, go, go. That is right, the B Team versus Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler. And the winner was, and still, our Raw Tag Team Champions, Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. After the match, Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose show back up, and even though that they were supposed to be escorted out, Seth Rollins could be stripped of his title. But so then, what happens is next is that they attack Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, but then they go backstage to Baron Corbin, and Baron Corbin addresses them and says to them is that basically is that they get the own police for false reports on Constable Baron Corbin on the acting GM, and just tells them this is that they were going to place him underneath arrest. So it's pretty hilarious. So then Baron Corbin gives Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins a Raw Tag Team Championship title match at Hell in a Cell to face Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre for the Raw Tag Team titles. Awesome. So that's going to look awesome there. So then we got in-ring segment on Raw with Triple H, and he talks about the night after SummerSlam that he told us that the era was back and that Undertaker was chosen to win the Super Showdown, and predictions don't bother him. And when Shawn Michaels came out, and it bothered the Undertaker when he made his predictions, and when he saved his opinion that the Undertaker lost his respect. So the Undertaker lost his respect for him. So then that he would put him down. So Triple H says that he is going to put down the Undertaker in Melbourne, Australia. So that's going to be something. That's Super Showdown Australia, man. That's going to be at 4 o'clock a.m. man, here on the East. That's going to be a 4 o'clock a.m. morning show and Super Showdown. Whew, man. On Saturday, October 6th on the WWE Network. The next match we had on Raw was Kevin Owens versus Tyler Breeze, and that match does not take place at all because Kevin Owens basically just beats down Tyler Breeze, and Tyler Breeze just has a fight with him and a brawl with him. So then Kevin Owens just basically stands tall after he just power bombs him on top of the ring post or something like that. So that's what happens there. So then what happens is Kevin Owens cuts a promo on the mic, and he says that he's not held of what he does to his opponents, and that's why he blames Bobby Lashley for all this, and that's why he blames Bobby Lashley for injuring Sami Zayn, and that's why he returned and came back was because of Bobby Lashley. So basically, he just blamed it all on Bobby Lashley, and that's what happens there. So the fifth match on Raw was Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. Glorious! They're such a glorious team. Versus the Ascensions. And the winner was Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. And that match was glorious. Another match on Raw was Rowdy Ronda Rousey and Natalya versus Mickie James and Alexa Bliss. And the winner was Ronda Rousey and Natalya. So then we had Elias was going to perform, and he makes fun of the New Orleans Saints about losing the other day, yesterday on a Sunday night, on Sunday football, and he talks about how Drew Brees does not want to perform for the city anymore, and he just makes fun of the football team, the New Orleans Saints. And then Mick Foley comes out and interrupts Elias and talks to Elias. And then Elias talks to Foley. Foley says that he is going to be the special guest referee in the Braun Strowman versus Roman Reigns Hell in a Cell match. And Mick Foley makes a match between this match, which I'm going to say it right now, between Finn Balor versus Elias. So we have Finn Balor versus Elias, and the winner was Finn Balor. How awesome was that? I don't know if y'all caught anything. Was on commentary how Renee Young said this. Is that all right? And Michael Cole just said this. There's no like cheering, so basically they can't say that on commentary, like no cheering for the wrestler when she said all right. So I thought that was just pretty hilarious how the way she said that, and she said oh all right. Like, it's just pretty funny. I don't know if y'all caught that. Leave your comments down below if you did. So then we go on to the last part of Raw we have, which Braun Strowman gets into the ring and for the final part of Raw, and he calls out Roman Reigns. So then he calls Roman Reigns a coward, and that he is afraid, and that he is going to take his title at Hell in a Cell. So then Roman appears on the announce table, and him and Braun Strowman brawl. So then Braun Strowman pushes Roman Reigns into the Tron on the stage, and then what happens is that Braun Strowman takes apart the announce table, was going to put Roman through it, but then Roman Reigns reverses it, and then he puts him right through. Picks him, Braun Strowman up, and puts him right through. There's a Samoan drop right through the floor, and Roman Reigns stands tall with the Universal Championship, and Roman Reigns just stands tall, and Braun Strowman is still laying in the floor, and that's how WWE Monday Night Raw ends last night on the WWE USA Network. So, once again, the John Squad, please like this video, leave your comments down below, and leave a comments down below what your favorite part of WWE Monday Night Raw is. Slap the like on your video if you're all excited for WWE Monday, if you're all excited for WWE Hell in a Cell this Sunday, and if you're excited for Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins to claim those Raw Tag Team belts as I am. So, once again, don't forget to tap that bell on YouTube so you're not missing out on my videos. Peace out, the John Squad. I love you guys.